Hello, happy January 17th. My little guy is taking a little nap. He might wake up in the middle of this and I might have to finish it later. But he's 3 months old today. And I thought that this would be a good time to tell his birth story. I hope that I can eventually share Van's birth story on here as well. Because I think Van's birth is really not that interesting. It's like a really typical first birth. But his is a little bit more interesting because I think that a lot of like second time births are really, fast a lot of the time, and they're kind of like, oh my gosh, it's happening. And then like 10 minutes later, a baby comes. That didn't happen for me. It snowed yesterday, so I have my hat on because it's just a little cold. And, obviously we have the heat on because we're not crazy people. It's literally like 25 degrees today, so it's really cold, which I'm so happy about. I love winter, so I'm so excited that it's actually cold out and the sun's setting. So I felt like it's pretty lighting, golden hour. Hello. So here's the story of Arnold Thomas. I hope you enjoy it. So I was 39 weeks pregnant and I think 5 days when he was born. But it really started at 39 weeks, 4 days about. I went all day. Well, here, let me backtrack a little bit. At my 39-week appointment, I got a membrane sweep because, I'm a birth doula, and a lot of birth doulas will say, no interventions. You shouldn't do any interventions. I knew I wanted to go unmedicated again, as best as I could. And I knew that interventions can kind of get in the way of those kind of things. And a membrane sweep is an intervention, but it feels like a soft intervention to me. I'm kind of I don't like to go too hard on things because I do want people, as a birth doula, my number one goal is that people are making choices for their body, that choices aren't being made for them. So for me, that's how I took it. I said, I want this because I wanted to speed up the process. I wanted to be done being pregnant. I'm not one of those people that really loves being pregnant, especially toward the end. I'm like, let's go. I'm ready. So I got a membrane sweep and nothing really happened. I was 1 centimeter dilated. So it was enough for her to get in there, and I was 0 effaced. So really didn't have much going on there. I was a little bit concerned going into this appointment because earlier that day I had gone on a walk with my son and my sister, and my sister's dog jumped on my belly really hard. And I was like, oh my God, what if it made a hole in or a small rupture in my waters? It didn't. I got checked for that, so that was good. But I got my membrane sweep and I felt fine. I didn't feel anything crazy. I think that was Thursday that I had done that, or Friday morning, Friday morning. And Saturday, Sunday we went to a street fair in Allentown, the Harvest Fest, and walked around all day. It was really, really fun. I got to see so many people that I just have loved my whole life because I grew up in Allentown, so I got to see people that I went to church with and friends from high school and stuff like that. And it was just kind of joyous because everyone was so excited for me. And I feel it was really almost made my body more ready because everyone was so excited for me. And I feel I don't know, it just felt like a really nice hug from all these people that have loved me my whole life. So I definitely think that was part of it. But that night, me and my husband, we put the baby down to sleep after a long day that was just so much fun. And when I'm at the end of my pregnancies, I'm we're gonna have sex every night because I want to get this baby out. I told you he might wake up. He's kind of we've been sleeping a lot today. I rested with him, and then I'm gonna pause this. I'll be right over there. I'll tell the story while I'm giving him some food. I don't know if this is a weird angle, but gotta feed the little man, so we're all just gonna have to live with it, okay? Because I'm telling you my birth story, and this is the time I have before my other son and my husband get home. So, anywho's, so like I said, when I'm at the end of my pregnancy, I'm ready to be done. Got the membrane sweep. I'm on a strict schedule where I'm go get in there. We're having sex right now because I want this baby out. And I know that's like, doesn't work, but it does. Like, it's like one of the only things that's proven that can work, because semen is going to soften the cervix. It's a good way to, try and get things moving along. Especially me, I had no effacement. So we did it, and we go to bed. I kind of felt a little funny. I felt like when I was in bed and I like snuggled up with my pregnancy pillow, I felt like, something might have made a popping noise, but we'll go to sleep, and then when I wake up and go to the bathroom, maybe something will happen and we'll see. Well, that's what I did, and around like probably 1 a.m., I woke up to go to the bathroom. I was walking out of my bedroom door, and whoosh, just like a movie, my water broke, which was like kind of really exciting, because I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, my water broke, yay. I know better than this. I'm a birth doula, so I'm going to tell you that where I messed up, okay? I'll let you know. Oh, my water broke, and immediately the adrenaline rush that I got was like on top of the world, because I'm like, oh my God, it's happening. Ooh, wow, ooh. But it actually wasn't happening. My water just broke. Like, what? My water's broke. It's supposed to do the rest of the thing where I'm supposed to have my second baby labor, where the baby just flies out now. All right, let's get going. It's like nothing's happening. I'm just chilling. And this is why this labor was different. So that whole night, I'm like trying to sleep, but I'm also like too adrenaline rush. I'm like so hyped that I can't calm down. So I showered in the middle of the night, just like, chill. I also had like a whole bunch of fluids leaking out of me like this whole time. And me and my husband just like decided, like, let's not be in the bed, because I don't really want to mess the bed up. Like, let's sleep on the couch. I don't know why that seemed more logical, but I was just kind of like, you can sleep in bed, I'll lay on the couch. And he's like, nah, I'm going to stick out here with you. And it was like, felt like Christmas morning, because I literally watched the sunrise, because it happened at like 1 a.m. And I was like, I would get some rest. And then like right as I would start to rest is when I would get some little contractions. And now this is my fault, but it's also like, here's what I would have done. Probably just sleep in bed. Put some towels down and sleep in bed, girlfriend, and just shut up. Like, that's really what I should have done. But I didn't. I was just too like, so I like watched a Medea movie, and like I waited for things to just do the thing. And I'd have some, and then I was like paying too much attention. Boom. Paying too much attention. You're not supposed to do that, especially when you're looking to go for a natural labor or an unmedicated labor. You don't really want to pay attention. So I was paying way too much attention too early. Crap. Also, to give myself some credit, and I'm not really giving myself any credit, because these contractions didn't hurt necessarily at all. Well, they did. They were like cramps, but they weren't like intense. But I shouldn't have paid attention to them, and I was just paying way too much attention. I should have just slept. Just slept through them. So anyways, we make it to the morning, and I'm like, listen, I definitely I want to have like a fun day with my husband. I told him, I said, like, take off work today, because like the baby's coming. Like, I did know that. Like, it might not be for a while, but the baby is going to come at some point. So no matter what, like, if you take off work, you're not going to look like a jerk, because I know my water broke. It kept trickling. That's kind of like the telltale sign. It was a gush, and then it continued to just leak all day. This kid, stinky farts, such stinky farts. Anyways, oh my God, that smells so bad. That smells so bad, Arnold. I'm sorry that I'm taken aback by that. Anyways, so I had called my mom and my doula, Carrie is also my mentor for all my doula stuff. So I was really lucky that I got to see her really in action at my own birth. So, my mom was like, oh, should I come over? Because my mom was going to come with us to the hospital. I was like, you can come over. Van's getting picked up. by my in-laws, and, you know, we can just like take a walk or just see how it goes. But like really nothing was happening. So it was like, you can come over, but like nothing's really happening. There's nothing to really like, I'm kind of more annoyed than anything. Cause now I've been in this like, just like, oh man. So here's my another mistake. I should have just left my kid at home, because then he probably would have distracted me. And I probably would have had fun with him anyway. I just wanted a fun day with my husband though, and I felt like a good excuse. But in hindsight, like he doesn't really, he knows what's going on because, you know, I talk about doula stuff with him, but like he doesn't know what's going on. So we were like pittering back and forth. I'm like, let's go for a walk. So me and my mom and my husband go for a walk, and you know, there's some stuff happening. There's more stuff happening when I was at home, but I kept having this pattern where for maybe like an hour, I'd have some nice consistency. I'd be like, my body was trying to establish that labor pattern. So I'd be like, start like 15 minutes apart, 10 minutes apart, 5 minutes apart. And the 5 minutes apart would last for like 30 minutes. And then at 30 minutes after there was 5, you know, apart, then it'd be like 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And then we'd start again. And it was so annoying. It was driving me nuts, because I was just like, okay, can we either do this or like, well, we have to do this. So that's the only option we have here. We took a walk. We ran into my doula, because my doula, Carrie, she lives in my neighborhood. So she ended up walking with us for a little bit. And I was just kind of like, nothing's happening. Like, let's not get excited. Like, I'm not heeing and hawing through the pain. I'm just kind of like, this is annoying. Like, I'm annoyed. And that was kind of my other problem. I was really just in a mood, because I was like, this is my second labor. Everyone's like, second labor, you better be close to the hospital, because once it happens, it's gonna happen. And I'm like, oh, it's gonna happen so quick. I'm so excited. 1 second. There you go. Here, buddy. So that wasn't happening. The whole quick thing wasn't happening for me. So after I took a walk, I told my mom, I was like, you can leave. I'm going to take a nap. That's what I'm going to try and do, because I'm tired, because I didn't sleep last night. I'm so tired, because we literally went to bed at 11. My water broke at 1 a.m. So it's like I got no sleep last night. And that's another boom, terrible. If I slept, I'm such a sleepy person, and I just like couldn't. My brain was racing. I don't know what I was thinking. Like, if I could go back, I'd be like, girl, just go sleep. Like, and that's kind of the joke of all of this, is like, I did sleep. I got rest. I just, not to my liking. So, anywho's, oh my word, child, your farts are so stinky. And so me and my husband, we try to take like a rest, because I'm like, let's like take a nap. You can stay up if you want. You got more sleep than me. But I was like, I'm just going to try and rest. So we like rested for a little bit, maybe like 2 hours. And then things like at the end of that hour was like, or at the end of the 2 hours were like picking up and getting more consistent, but more intense. So I was like, okay, this is good. Yeah. But still nothing to get excited about. So I was like, let's go get like brunch, because I'm hungry and I'm going to need food, and you know, we're not going anywhere. Like, I need to eat something. So we got breakfast together, because we were like, oh, this is our last time to get breakfast before we're a family of 4. And so we got like some breakfast. It was like brunch, because it was like noon around now. And while we were at like brunch, breakfast, lunch, as if you didn't know what brunch meant, things like were like getting good again. And like, it was good, because, you know, when I was in the car, it was staying consistent, like from after my nap to now. Like, so now we're getting like, okay, things are like actually getting together more. So I was like getting excited. I'm like, yay, something's happening. And yeah, so then when we got home, I'm like, okay, things are happening. And then like, it just stopped again. I was like, are you kidding me? And now I'm like, are you kidding me? Which is awful. Like, that's like, you're not going to go into labor when you're angry like that. But that's probably why it took so long. I'm not ignoring it. I was so focused on it. And I'm just like, ugh, like, why is this happening like this? This is so frustrating. So we get home and I'm just like so like over this already because I'm like, ugh, I'm not even in labor. Like, I'm not. My water just broke. Like, that's it. And it's just annoying because I'm like getting contractions, but they're just not really, they're not really happening. So this is just all that Monday. I'm just like, ugh. So then me and my mom and my husband, we're like, you know what? You like to shop. Like, let's go shop. Let's go shop. And I was like, let's go to Walmart, guys. So we take a trip to Walmart and we look at all the cute baby clothes and we buy some stuff for the babe. And like we had like a fun time. And it was like, now it's like, we spent our time, like we took some time doing this. And it was like getting close to like 4-ish. I had been trying to call triage all day to be like, hey, my water broke, just a heads up. Like, when's like the time that you guys really want me to get there? Because I knew I didn't have to get there. But I was kind of like, all right, if it's been like, they say like 12 hours, like they're like, yeah, we want to see you after 12 hours. Like, that's typically what they say. And you know what? I was just kind of annoyed because things weren't picking up. I made this decision to get an intervention, which I knew when I got that membrane sweep, I was going to be like, you're the poster child for the reason why you don't get an intervention. And so I hey buddy. So I couldn't get into triage like all day. I'm like trying to call them and they're not picking up. And then finally they answered and they were like, yeah, you should try and be here by like 4:30. Would probably be like a good time to come in. So I was like, all right, I can live with that. I can live with 4:30. And so we shopped around a little bit and then I was like, let's go home and get our things and get ready to go. So we did just that. And when I got there, I'm like, I gotta be like, again, I'm guessing my cervical dilation, stupid, I know better. But when you're in labor, like, I guess some people are not like me, but for some reason, I guess I'm just I'm a girl that don't trust herself, even though I tell everyone else to trust themselves. I just didn't trust my body because I was so frustrated and angry with it, which is so silly because it was just trying to do what it needed to do. But this is just, me reflecting that, I know better. But sometimes when it's you in the situation, you think that you're different or special. I say that all the time, that we're not special unicorns and labor happens a certain way because that's how it goes. But so I get to the hospital and I'm thinking, oh, I got to be at a 4. No, I was at a 2. And they were like, well, you can stay because your water broke. Or you should stay. Like, they wanted me to stay. They wanted me to stay because my water broke. And I was like, yeah, sure. My water broke. I'll stay. Because I was kind of like, okay, once I get into the room, I'll be like vibing and like everything will be there and I'll be good. So no big deal. Like, I just want to get into the room and like be where I need to be. And I think that'll like, my brain will be okay. Well, I gave birth in October and everybody gives birth in October. So they were like, hey, look you're at a 2 right now. We're in no rush to get you in a room because we really don't have one for you anyways. So you can just chill here with your husband in triage. And I'm like, why? I don't want to. So then from 4 to about 9:30, I was in triage in a tiny little room with a little bathroom and really nothing going on. And thankfully, they took off all my stuff and whatever. And I was really like heeing and hawing now, like, because I'm just like, I was in a bad headspace. Like, let's just be honest. That's what it was. And I always say, like, I think it's not fair to say active labor is 6 centimeters. Oh, good job. Because you really start feeling it at, hi. He's so cute. I start feeling it at, my water broke. So there was no cushion. Like, it was definitely not like easy at that time. So I'm working with my husband. He's giving me nice counter pressure. He was really doing a great job. You want more, Baba? But, yeah, no, I was kind of like, you know what? And I'm going to be honest. I remember this. Like, I was way more with my first. I feel like I was delulu the whole time. Like, I was in labor where I was like, you can't have a conversation with me. Like, I'm in labor land. I'm a bear right now. With him, I was kind of like I was grumpy, but I was like, I'm aware. I know what's going on here. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to hee and haw because I want in this room. So I kind of turned it up a notch. I can't lie. I really did. So I screamed a little bit louder, even though I didn't need to. I just made more noises because I was like, you know what? They're getting me out of here. I'm done. I know that they have a room. I know that they can make room for me. I want my doula here. I couldn't have my mom or my doula there because it's triage. What are they going to have a whole party in there? So I was like, you know what? I'm going to hee and haw a little bit. I did. And it worked. They were like, oh, we're going to get you in a room. Now, this whole duration, though, while I was in triage was, I don't even know how to describe it. It was like being in purgatory because you're just in this little room and they're like, we're going to get you in soon. And you're just like, please just take me out of this misery, which I'm going to tell you mistake number, whatever. I should have just went home. They probably would have let me. It wouldn't have been a big deal. The midwives I work with, they don't care that much. Even though they're hospital midwives, like they would have just let me go home. So I should have just gone home, but I didn't. Womp womp. So during that time, like we ate a little bit. My mom brought us some food. I had some Gatorade. You know, my midwife came in. She gave me some counter pressure. Me and my husband got this amazing thing at Walmart. It was just like a hand massager. Oh my God, that thing was amazing during all my contractions. And at 4 centimeters, I was heeing and hawing because my water broke. And that would feel so good. Like it felt amazing. And I did not let him stop until this kid came out of me. So that was just amazing, a hand massager. So I was just kind of in there. I was trying to like use the bathroom when I could because that's like the dilation station. And I was just trying to get things moving along. But I think I was so frustrated that I was just like, I don't know. I was kind of like annoyed. And I really just needed my doula there. And I needed my mom there just to like be like, girl, get over yourself. Like, you're fine. Like, let's do this. Because that's what I needed. Like, I needed to be slapped into like some sense like of like what's actually going on here. Like, you're fine. Like why are you being a baby? Because I was being a baby. Which I get it's birth, and anyone that watches this is like, why are you not giving yourself credit? You were giving birth. Like, you were in labor. Like, that hurts. But you know what? I was being a baby. So, we get to the room finally at like 9:30, and I'm like, yes, but I'm also not like, yes. I'm not like, oh, I'm happy now. Ha, ha, ha. I'm like, I'm so mad. Someone give me something. I want something to take the pain away. So I was like, what are my IV pain medication options? I might have to get an epidural because I'm not coping over here. And I at least need to do the the laughing gas, because I need something that's just going to like help me to like get back on track, because I'm not on track. I'm like, I'm messed up right now. I'm like not myself, not being cool, you know, not being cute, not being cool. How I am. So I'm like, give me the laughing gas. Let's see if that works. Laughing gas, I get it. And I'm in such a pissy mood waiting for my mom and my doula that I'm like, this doesn't even work. It isn't even working this time. I loved it with my son, but that's because I was like calm. They got me in there like at an appropriate time. But I was just like, you know when like you're waiting for your table and it's like taking forever, and then you get to the food and you're like, it's not even good. I waited so long. That was me, but with my hospital room. So I'm like all mad, and I'm like, it's not working. And then like Carrie gets there, and I'm like, I'm doing the morphine. Like, I'm doing the IV pain meds. I don't care what anybody says. I'm doing it. Like I need something, or I'm getting an epidural. And she's like, Camille, she was done with me the second she walked in, which is respectful. Like, I can respect that, because I told her, I was like, don't let me get an epidural. I don't want it. Which, respect if you want an epidural. It's just not me. I'm like terrified of needles in my back. But I'm like questioning everything here. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get an epidural. And Carrie's like, you're not getting an epidural. Like, we're gonna let you like chill for a second, and then you're gonna put your big girl panties on. And that's what we did. So I got morphine. But I really only got like a top off of it. Like, I didn't have an IV drip. It wasn't continuous, because even though I was at 4 centimeters, even when they moved me up there, I was still at 4 centimeters. Not that that matters. As we know in labor, that really doesn't matter. And especially in this story, it didn't matter. What? Hi. Hi, what's up? Hold on. So, I got the IV pain meds, which was, good. It really didn't cover, it covered enough that I could rest between contractions, despite what my feeling was. Like, everybody in the room, like, I kept being like, I'd wake up with a contraction, I'd be like, I can't even sleep because this is so painful. I can't sleep through them. And they'd be like, Camille, you were just snoring between contractions, so you're definitely getting rest. That's like a joke that we all have been saying to me, because I will be like, I was just so tired, and they're like, well, you did rest. And evidently it did help, because I rested for a little bit. I had my husband giving me the massager like on my tailbone, and that felt like amazing. My mom was rubbing my feet. My mom like looked up like good ways to like massage the feet to make labor progress. And then my doula Carrie was at my belly just holding those monitors on so they didn't fuss and didn't have the nurses coming back in. So she pretty much gave me, I think, like probably an hour there. And I, like I said, the whole time I'm complaining, I'm not even resting. I was such a little baby this whole time, which is funny. I know that if you're hearing this, you're like, you're not being a baby. But I was being a baby. Like, anywho's, maybe you agree. Maybe you're like, you are being a baby. So Carrie has like, she's like, listen, like, this is like, you're being a little bit dramatic. You have rested. I know you don't think that you have, but you have. And she was like a little bit gentler, but she was pretty much like, all right, you're going to put your big girl panties on. You got the time to rest. You got that. Now we're going to get out of bed. Like, you need to get out of bed soon. I was like, yeah, I want to use the bathroom. I knew I wanted to be in the bathroom. I knew I wanted to shower. Like, it was time for me to do that. Like, and I was kind of like, I don't know, my brain just switched. I don't know. I just like, she told me to, she was like, and like, this honestly was really helpful. Like, to reframe my mind was, she was like, your mind's going to fail before your body does. So you don't, there's nothing wrong here. Like, you're okay. And I needed that. Like, I needed to hear that. And I really like, that framed my mind so much, I feel like, right then. And it kind of did like make me be like, okay, like, let's put my panties on. I got to put my big girl panties on here and get in that bathroom. And that bathroom became the most beautiful place in the world, where I just, it changed everything. So, this is the power of having a doula, if you ask me. So I get in the bathroom and I immediately was like, I'm going to just sit on the toilet, which is what I did. And I kind of would like sit on the toilet between contractions, and then, why are you being such a fussy fuss? I'm going to go play over there. Oh, he's playing on the ground right now. So yeah, I get in the bathroom and I'm like using the toilet. I'm like, just sitting down, and then I'm standing up between, like, once a contraction hits, I need to stand up because it takes over your whole body. Like, really makes everything, like, I can't sit down for this. Like, I need to stand up and like let it go everywhere. And like, now my mind was a little bit, I wouldn't say clearer, but it kind of was. Like, I kind of like just had a better, like, I knew what I had to do. So that's what I started doing. I did what I had to do. And I was like, okay, I want to get in the shower. Like, cause I'm a water girly. With my first, that was one of the mistakes I made with that one, which you will hear later, which is I got in the tub too early. I'm a walking like PSA of like, maybe I don't want to do that. But anyways, I got in the shower and it was amazing. Like, it was so amazing. I literally, like, we have pictures from my labor and my butt is literally like red because I was like, turn that heat up. I had the hottest water just like on my lower back, like on my butt. And it felt so amazing between contractions. So literally like probably like 9:30, 10:30, 11ish, we get into the shower, into the bathroom, and that's when things just like rocketed, because like my body was like, okay, let's go. So I get in the shower and like I'm like taking them now. I must have been in the shower for 30 minutes and it like launched me to labor. I could like feel like I was getting pressure, and I was like, I did eat, like I ate today, so I know sometimes you just like, sorry, I'm just gonna help my little guy out. Sometimes you just like have to poop in labor, like no matter what. Like, you might not even have to push, but like most of the time if you feel like you have to poop, it's time to push. And I'm a second time mom. So once I got into active labor, the quick part happened. Even though it wasn't to the way I wanted, the quick part did happen. So once I was in the shower for a little bit, maybe like 10 minutes, I started being like, dang, I gotta poop. And I was just like, I don't care. I'm in labor. So I was pooping in the shower. That's why I'm like, you don't need to ever feel any judgment from me as a doula, because you're gonna poop. I pooped in the shower. Like, I was probably the least favorite person. Like the labor and delivery nurse is probably like, who does that? What kind of animal does that? Or maybe they're like, everyone poops, but most people are like in the bed while they're pushing. No, me in the shower, because I was like, I could feel him, but I was like literally like pooping, and like my doula Carrie's like, hey, like, do you think that we should get you checked? Like, do you think the baby's coming? And I was like, I don't know. Yeah, let's do it. Let's just say yes, because with my first, again, I felt the urge to push earlier at 5 centimeters, but I was only at 5 centimeters. So I had that urge, but I really just had to poop with my first. So this time I'm like, well, maybe I just have to poop, but I'm already pooping and I'm still having the urge. So, I don't know. So I literally she's like, okay, let me call someone down. So she goes to the nurses and she's like, hey, I think my girl needs to get checked, and they're like, she was at 4 centimeters, like not that long ago. So we're not really concerned about it. And they're like, well, she's a second time mom. And they're like, oh, okay. Like, we'll come over. And she's like, well, she's pooping in the shower. And they're like, okay, here we come. Because then they're like, oh my God, wait, what the heck? She's pooping in the shower. She's a second time mom. Okay, maybe she's not at 4 centimeters anymore. So I literally get my butt in that bed. The nurse checks me, not even the midwife, because they're like, we're gonna get this rolling, because this might be quicker than we realize. And she's like, literally checks me, and she's like, okay, time to have a baby. My husband's like, wait, what? Does that mean it's time? And I'm like, that means it's time, yay! But I was actually a little bit more like, it means it's time, because I was like, because they're like, don't push, and I'm like, oh, don't push. But I was like, I don't give a crap. I'm gonna push. So I was like kind of pushing, but I was like being a little naughty girl. So I like immediately got ready. I was like on all fours, ready to just get this kid out. And they're like, you gotta wait a little bit. And I'm like, yeah, I'm waiting. I was pushing him out. So midwife comes in and she's like, let's get this going. I'm on all fours towards her. I'm pushing, and then she's like, and no. Turn around really quick. So but like I was like mid push, so like baby was already descending. She's like flip around, so I'm like, oh my gosh, it must be a shoulder. It wasn't a shoulder. She just wanted me on my back. So that's not, I don't love that, but you know what, whatever. I flipped on my back, and then whew, here it comes. He was there. That was it. And that was great. So even though it took a long time, he was born at midnight, pretty much 12:05. My mom says 12:03, 12:03, 12:05. a.m. on October 17th. So all in all, it was like, I would never call it a 24-hour labor, because it was not a 24-hour labor. It was 24 hours since my water broke almost, but it wasn't a 24-hour labor. It really, in hindsight, I just made stupid decisions that would have been better. Things could have been different had I used my knowledge that I have, which I just should have, but you know what? Hindsight is 20/20, is that what they say? So I just think, even though things didn't go 100% the way I did, I had a blessed labor and delivery. Like I had 2 beautiful, healthy boys. Both of them I had wonderful labors for. And even though things didn't necessarily go my way, like I was just being a brat. So that was my second labor. And like I said, it was pretty textbook for the most part. It wasn't that shoot out your bahoo super fast kind of labor, but it was a labor that I do feel like was more transformative than my first, because I leaned into it way more in a way. Like, so although it wasn't exactly, what I had hoped for, because I really wanted to go completely unmedicated, and I did have to get a little bit of the morphine to top me off, but I didn't feel like it did anything. Like with my first, and like I said, I'm gonna make a video about that. I did get an IV drip, and with that I got like something that made me loopy, that just made me like, nothing. You could not feel anything. And it just knocked me out. This one though, like I could feel stuff, and it was like, it helped a little bit, but it felt like a Tylenol. That's what it felt like. So I feel like I still feel proud of myself that I did not get an epidural. I'm hoping that next time that I give birth, that I can really go through it without needing any additional help. Now that I know, I thought I knew with this one though, so we'll have to see how that one goes. But like I said, overall, I had a beautiful labor and delivery, and I'm so blessed for it. So tell me, if you are a second-time mom, did you have a really fast labor, or did you have a drawn out kind of labor like I did, where you were waiting for stuff to happen and it didn't? Prodromal labor is pretty common with second-time moms, so I'm not super surprised. It's not like it's not, it was still a fast labor. Once I got to it, it was just the prodromal part that was really annoying. So I know a lot of moms deal with that. But yeah, it just makes me laugh because I wish I had, for some reason when it's you don't want to listen. And that's like, I guess I'm just a stubborn person, because I thought like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this, even though I know better. It's like, girl, you'd be a lot happier if you just didn't do what you're doing right now. So I just laugh at myself because that's the kind of person I am. So, but whatever. I have 2 beautiful boys. So let me know. I hope that you enjoyed my birth story. I hope that if you watch this, because you're going to be giving birth soon, that you're going to have a beautiful, blessed, wonderful, transformative birth for yourself. And have a wonderful day. Ha!